Good morning, Grace Point. Glad y'all are here. Y'all want to sing with me? Come on, stand, let's sing. Go on, lay your troubles down. Set your feet on solid ground. Peace deep as I have found. I want to follow you. Come on, all you weak and weary. Come round now if you can hear me. Poor, sick, and God-fearing. I want to follow you. I said I want to follow you. Leave all of your troubles. Leave all of your sorrow. Set down your burden. Come on and follow. Come on, heavy lady. Don't wait for tomorrow. Come on, all you people. Come on and follow. Go on, leave your worries too. They're not a bit of good they do. There's a word that's coming through. Go on, leave your worries too. So I call your name in the middle of the night. I wanna know, can you hear my cry? Through heat and moonlight, well, I wanna follow you. Said I wanna follow. Come on, sing it with me. Leave all of your troubles. Leave all of your sorrow. Set down your burden. Come on and follow. Come on, happy lady. Don't wait for tomorrow. Come on, all you people. Come on and follow. Ooh, oh yeah. Set your burdens down. Set your burdens down. Set your burdens down. Leave all of your troubles. Leave all of your sorrow. Set down your burden. Come on and follow. Come on, happy lady. Don't wait for tomorrow. Come on, all you people. Come on and follow. Hey, come on, all you people. Come on and follow. Yeah, leave all of your troubles. Leave all of your sorrow. Sit down your burdens. Yeah, come on and follow. Come on, happy lady. Don't wait for tomorrow. Come on, all you people. Come on and follow. Hey, come on, all you people. Come on and follow. Yes, I hear y'all. Welcome to Grace Point on our Fall Festival Day. It feels like fall, y'all. And in here it's really hot. So we do have fans, little hand fans. If you end up needing that, we can get those for you. But we are so glad that you've joined us today, where you are safe, you are seen exactly who you are and how you exist in this world, how you love. And we love you. We celebrate you. We're glad that you're here. We also have a special guest speaker this morning. Mr. Cody Dees is here. He's going to talk about his book. His wife is right here on the second row. Glad y'all are with us. But we want y'all to sing, feel free, dance, do whatever you want to do. However you want to express yourself is okay with us. We love that you're here. Let's sing a song. If this is what it's like to be unholy, this is what it's like to be lost, I will take this heresy over your hypocrisy and count any cost. If this is what it's like to be empty again, if this is what it's like to be adrift, I will take this darkness over any light you cast. you and your original sin. And carry on, carry on, 'cause there's no evil in a child's eyes. Carry on. Oh, there is still a stillness over the deep. There is still a word in the night. The day blind stars over our heads again wade with their light. Carry on, carry on. Oh, there's no evil in a child's eyes. So carry on. Oh, there's no evil in a child's eyes. It was made and it was good. So carry on, carry on, oh, carry on, carry on. Come on, sing it. Yeah, carry on, carry on, oh, carry on, carry on. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Where do I see is this time? Y'all can be seated. Thank you.
Okay, first I want to... More chairs.
Yes, more chairs.
And there's some room up here.
Yes. Front row,
Yeah, Craig's a nice guy.
despite what you've heard. First, I want us all to turn around and wave to the online community. Welcome. Hi, Liz Taylor. Today, if y'all haven't noticed, it's the Fall Festival, and it's for everyone. And we want anybody that's new, just walked in this morning unknowingly, please stay. Plenty of food. There's going to be a trunk and treat later on for kids or adults. Plenty of things that you get out of trunks. Spare tires, yes. We are having a coat drive, and this is for adults and children, or mostly adults, those in need. And Dennis is going to take them to... He's going to come and we can look forward to Dennis coming up later. Just to put on your calendars, save the date, Christmas celebration or party is going to be on December the 7th. It's a Sunday. It'll be right after service. And besides, we're going to have a special guest. Besides my niece Liz from Ohio, Santa's coming. So And then the final thing, there's like a QR code, QVC code. No. There it is. We would love if you have the means and financial ability to contribute to our little community here so that we can continue on having our gatherings. And now I'm going to hand this over to my friend, Amanda Marshall, RN. Oh, and I'm Mary Kelly, by the way.
She loves to do announcements. This is a wonderful view. You know, that's the reason I do this, is to be able to look at you guys and welcome you. And what a wonderful group of people. We are going to, like a lot of other people, Brooke and Kayla, like a lot of other people, what we're doing is we're expanding our table. I like to talk about God's table. And we're going to expand it. Starting next Sunday, we're going to start a food drive. Now, I need to tell you, this is not to interfere. I know a lot of you are doing food drives already, your own personal ones. And it's not to interfere with that at all. But we're going to do a food drive and our benefit, this way? No, oh, you're talking to him. Okay. Excuse me, I thought I had to move. Anyway, what we're going to get, who we're going to gather for, and we're probably going to end up doing this through December. I know we're going to do it through November, but we're going to gather this next Sunday for a charity called The Branch. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but we got a hot tip from our wonderful state senator, Heidi Campbell, that this was a good group to give to. So anyway, and this is right here, what's posted are the things that they want the most, but you can also go to their website. Also, I have a whole bunch of these, a list of these things that you can bring. If you'll bring them next Sunday, we will be responsible. Me, Kathy Gilliland, and Mary Kelly will be responsible. The cool thing about The Branch, I didn't know about them until I started reading about them, is that they're South Nashville, and they will probably also be able to help the immigrant community through this. Let's see. Also, since we're going to continue this on, we would love for you guys to give us suggestions. So either stop Kathy, me, or Mary if you have a charity or a distribution center that you think would be really, really good for us to gather stuff, and we'll take it from there. And thank you so much ahead of time, and for your generosity. Josh?
Can we thank them? Appreciate y'all so much. My name is Josh Scott. If we haven't met, I'm the lead pastor here, and I want to start by apologizing. It's a little warm in here. We're not the kind of church that would that would say, you think it's hot here. So all I can really do is just say I'm sorry. We don't control that. The school does. We'll have to send an email this week. It'll be a little more comfortable next week. We're so glad you're here. We do have a couple more commercials for you, but they're kind of important, so just bear with us. First of all, November 23rd, one of our own, Kat Armis, she has a book coming out this week called Liturgies for Resisting Empire. She is preaching that Sunday, and after the gathering, we're going to have a lunch, and Kat and I are going to have a conversation about strategies for resisting empire, because we're living in the collapse of one, so it's a prudent conversation. So if you're interested, there's a link at the QR code. If we can throw that QR code back up. There's a link there. You can register. It just lets us know how many people to plan for lunch. And then I want to go ahead and invite Dennis and Brooke to come on up. And then right back there, there's a box on the wall. Do you see that back there? There's a QR code above that. And there's a sheet above that. There is a special election coming up in Nashville for a really important congressional seat. And it's on December 2nd. If you want to vote and you're not registered, you have until tomorrow or the next day. And so there's a QR code there. There's a fact sheet about both candidates. There's a QR code there. You can scan that to check your voter registration or to register before the deadline, which is in a couple days. Cool? All right, first, Brooke. So Brooke here. Come on up, Brooke. When are you shy? Brooke has been all over the news this week. For good reasons, which is even better. Brooke, can you tell everybody what you're working on and how they can be involved in their own communities?
Okay, so among all the big, terrible things that are happening, 42 million American SNAP benefits ran out yesterday. And 5 days ago, I made a Facebook post in the East Nashville Facebook group. It just said, "This is your SNAP Grocery Buddy post." And there were 2 simple instructions. 1, if you need help, leave a comment. 2, if you can help somebody, claim your buddy by replying to that comment and then work it out in your DMs. And the response was immediate and huge. And it has felt so good to feel good about people, because that's something that's not necessarily easy to do now. And because so many people immediately came out to start helping their friends, their neighbors, and community members, all the local news stations picked it up. Some of the national news picked it up. I did an interview yesterday with Washington Post. And just that I can see, it's gone to 11 states already. So thousands of people are all over the country are just coming out to help their friends and their neighbors and their community members. And it may feel like there are a lot of people out there that don't care about people, but there are more people that do. And something that this has shown me is that one little thing really can make a difference. And one person, a lot of little things are a big thing. So if you want to get in your community, your neighborhood Facebook group and start a buddy post, please start a buddy post, or look and find your buddy, see if somebody's done it already. And it's been an amazing week. Thank you to everybody here who has participated. Thank you to everybody here who is already helping. The more helpers and the more ways we get people help, the better. So thank you. I love you. Mwah.
And Dennis, come on up. Dennis Bentley, everybody.
Good morning. I'm Dennis Bentley. My wife Judy and I have been members of Grace Point since fall of 2019, so 6 years now. I'm part of an organization called Eyes of Love, and we feed and service the unhoused population in Nashville in 2 communities, Woodbine and Glengarry. And every Thursday, there's about 10 or 12 of us that meet and give food and clothing, if we have clothing, to about 25 to 30 people. And for the next 2 Sundays, the 9th and the 16th, we're going to be collecting clothing here at church. I know it's a competition now between the food and the clothing. We're not trying to make it be that way, but if you can't help, we very, very much appreciate it. We're looking for coats, gloves, hats, sweaters, sweatshirts, t-shirts, socks, underwear for both male and female adults. Now, they can be brand new or they can be gently used, so if you're cleaning out your closets, and you're trying to get rid of clothing, Goodwill is a wonderful organization, but if you could bring them here instead, we very much appreciate that. I'll be here, I won't be here next Sunday, but I'll be here the Sunday after that, but you can still bring them both Sundays. Also, anytime during the year, if you have clothing and see me, I'll be happy to take it. It doesn't have to just be these next 2 Sundays, because these unhoused people need clothing all year long. And it's only growing. The unhoused population is getting bigger and bigger. So anytime through the year, I'm here almost every Sunday. If you see me, I'll be happy to take anything that you have. I appreciate it very much. If you have any questions, see me after service. And thank you ahead of time for your generosity. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Dennis. So this is a tough time in the world, and this is a time when church actually gets to be church. The counter-cultural, in the sense of when you have a culture that is pursuing policies of death, that's when we get started on resurrection and new life. And so I know we're going to do that well together. We could not do what we do at Grace Point without the volunteers that make this thing happen week after week. And so our volunteer this week is Brian Gilliland. Brian's right back there, wearing a dashing fall shirt today, which I think is fantastic. So we're so glad you're here. Take a couple minutes, say hi to some people around you, and we'll be right back with more. Sorry, I missed my cue. So one of the things we do every week as a part of our gathering is we celebrate communion as a way of celebrating our connection to the Christian tradition, as a way of remembering the message of Jesus, which was a big, wide, warm welcome to every single person who wanted a seat at the table. And so we would love for you to celebrate communion with us today, if that's something that feels good to you. If you would rather not celebrate, also there's no judgment, and nobody will look at you differently or think twice about it. This is about your experience. I also want to say today on the Christian calendar is a day known as All Saints Day. And it's a day, well, technically yesterday, but this is All Saints Sunday. And that's a day to remember the saints who have gone on before us, what the book of Hebrews calls the great cloud of witnesses. Those people whose lives and whose relationship to us, whose work, whose love left fingerprints on our souls in ways that changed us forever. And so we wanted to have a space today for you, if there's somebody you would like to remember and a name you would like to make sure gets sort of out there today, as we remember those who taught us well, who loved us well. We have over here, you'll see on the window ledge there are 3 different kinds of Post-it notes. And between the window and that bulletin board, there's just a blank space. We would love to invite you, if you take communion, before or after that, or if you're not, however, go over, there's a pen there, write a name down, and feel free to stick that on the wall. And for the rest of our time today, we'll be able to remember those names together, and we'll take a picture of it so we can remember them long term as well. So we would love to invite you to participate in that. We read something together each week to make sure we all know exactly who's welcome, which is everybody. So I'd invite you to read this with me, if you would. Come to this table, you who have much faith, and you who struggle with believing, you who have been here often, and you who have come for the first time, you who are at peace, and you who feel despair. We are all part of the human family, and there is a place for us here. Christ invites everyone to the table. May this bread and wine unite us all. Amen. You can celebrate if you're ready.
You're a waterfall in the darkest sky. You're the brightest star in the deepest water. You're the ocean floor, and I can't run. Oh, I can't run. I can't hide away from you. Oh, I can't run. No, I can't run. I can't hide away from you. You're the mountain high. You're the valley low. You're the deepest sunset. You're the afterglow. In the darkest heart, you're the brilliant light. In the coldest winter, you're the raging fire. And I can't run. Oh, I can't run. I can't hide away from you. No, I can't run. Oh, I can't run. I can't hide away from you. I can't hide from you, oh God. And I can't run, I can't run, I can't hide away from you. No, I can't run, I can't run, I can't hide away from you. Will y'all sing that with me? Sing, I can't run. I can't run, I can't run, I can't hide away from you. One more time. I can't run, I can't run, oh, I can't run, I can't hide away from you. Amen. Thanks.
Well, this is the last time you'll see me today up here, I promise. So I am thrilled today. We have some dear friends in the house. We have Cody and Katie Deese. Katie's right there. Cody's right there. And he's about to be up here. You say, just 1 second. You're going to really have to give it all you got. So Cody and I have known each other for several years now, at least like 5 or 6. But last night was the first time we had ever been in the same room. And it was just a joy to be with them. Our stories are somewhat similar. We come from similar backgrounds. And he is an incredible person, and he has written an incredible book. And I hope today that some of you will pick up this book. I think it'll be really helpful, Discovering Your Internal Universe. And so Cody's going to come and share about his book, and we're going to hear from him. Will you make him feel welcome and laugh at all his jokes and give him the best Grace Point experience?
Thanks, brother. It's so good. Morning, everybody. Well, it's so good to see you, and it's just a joy to be here. I want to say a couple things, and then we'll get into this talk today. A couple of thoughts. First of all, let me say 2 things. One, I pastor a church in Atlanta, Georgia, just right north of the city. It's called Vinings Lake Church. Josh has been there before on his first book that he released. I tried to get him back on the others, but turned out he wrote 30 books in 1 year, it felt like. And I was like, we can't do that. But all that to say, I just want to say to you, this church, Grace Point, is probably the closest church that I'm aware of to our experience in Atlanta. And so anytime someone comes through our line in Atlanta and they say, I live in Nashville, I'm looking for a church like Vinings Lake, I, without question, am like, you have to go to Grace Point. So I want to just say to all of you, to every single human in this room who has given resources, who has given time, energy to make this space happen, I just want to reaffirm what you already know, that this world and this state and this city desperately needs this community. Amen. So I want to say to you, and specifically to Josh and his wife, Carla, first of all, you've been blessed with incredible leadership at Grace Point. I know that you're aware of that, but from Stan Mitchell all the way down, and now Josh leading this space, I have so much respect and admiration for that man, and I'm just grateful for Grace Point. So I just want to start and just say thank you for what you do. All right, now, that said, I wrote a book. It's called Discovering Your Internal Universe, subtitled The Unexpected Good News About Anxiety, Panic, and Fear. And what I thought I would do today is, I don't want to spoil the book, but I thought, what can I say? So I want to give you 2 stories. And I also want you to know this is really challenging for me this morning because in my church in Atlanta, I speak for an hour and I'm told I have 25 minutes, to which I've already burnt up 6 of those, all right? So I'm gonna just go as fast as I can and then we'll see what comes out, all right? Now, that said, let me start with a quote and then we'll jump into a little bit of this book. Here's the quote. This is an old Cherokee proverb. If you listen to your body when it whispers, you won't have to hear it scream. If you listen to your body when it whispers, you won't have to hear it scream. Now, I start there because I have lived with anxiety since my earliest memories. More specifically, I have lived with a panic disorder since I was a child. I have not always known that. I was 40 years old when, for the first time in my life, my therapist sat across from me and said, Cody, has no one ever told you this is a panic disorder? Prior to that moment, I spent years trying every which way to figure out these experiences that I was having. Now, I just want to pause here because some of you may not be familiar and some of you may be familiar, but is there anyone in the room familiar with this word anxiety? Is there anyone in this room breathing? Is there anyone in this room who's been an American citizen for the last 9 months? I say that because the reality is I believe our collective body, I believe our collective nervous system is screaming in this country. And for rightful reasons. I mean, think about it. U.S. masked men are snatching immigrants off the street in unmarked cars. We have political violence. We have rising healthcare costs that are about to double and triple in 2026. You're welcome for that anxiety. Growing unemployment, sex trafficking scandals at the highest levels, mass shootings that don't even get acknowledged anymore because they're so common. We have soldiers from authoritarian leaders in our own cities. And this is not to mention what's happening around the world, the atrocities in Gaza, Ukraine, Sudan. And they all seem to be unfolding under the guidance of ill-equipped leaders in some of the greatest positions of power, not just here in the US, but around the world. And that is reason enough for our collective body's nervous system to be screaming at us. And so the question is, what do we make of our anxiety collectively? And part of what I wrote in this book is my hope is that what is true about you as an individual is also true about the collective. Because the individual always mirrors the collective, and the collective mirrors the individual. So at 40 years old, when I was told you have a panic disorder, I went to work. And I went to work trying everything I could possibly try to get underneath it and try to make sense of it. I visited general practitioners, psychiatrists, neurologists, cardiologists, pulmonologists, nutritionists, life coaches, health coaches, spiritual directors, spiritual advisors, shamans, naturopathic physicians. I have tried diets. I still to date run 6 miles a day, 15 miles on Fridays. You're like, that's a flex. It is, all right? I have tried inhalers because at one point someone said, oh, you have a breathing problem. You just need breathing medication. And so I went into the breathing chamber and tried it, and they gave me an inhaler. I still have that inhaler. I have tried exercise, acupuncture, salts, gargling, mindfulness, breathing techniques, meditation, massages, cold water, laying on my right side, kinesiology, parts work, hypnotherapy, light treatment, music at 60 beats per minute. Didn't work. CBD, THC, Wachuma, and a high dose of psilocybin. All of that to say, it's not that none of it didn't work. It's that all of it worked to get me to where I am now. And it was an arduous, grueling, exhausting process along the way. And in that process, I had some experiences that led me to this moment. Now, I want to lean into one of those, okay? Now, in the book, I write about all these different experiences, and I kind of go into detail with them. I will just say this. I did spend some time doing a high dose of psilocybin because Johns Hopkins University has had some great research come out about people with PTSD and anxiety and how they're having great success with mushroom and like this type of therapy. And so when you are at a point of desperation like I was, you will just about try anything because what you want is some sense of healing. And so I tried a little bit of everything. I will tell you, I write briefly about that experience in the book, and then it kind of moves throughout the book as well. I just say to everyone that I speak to, it's not for everybody, and not everybody should do that. Lean into your own wisdom, lean out and figure out what your doctors say. My experience was this. I don't really have words for that experience other than this, just to tell you, I resonate the most with Paul's words. Paul in 2 Corinthians said, he had an experience. He said, I know a man who 14 years ago was taken to the third heaven. He said, I know a man 14 years ago taken to the third heaven, and whether in the body or out of the body, I don't know, only God knows. But he was shown things that he is not permitted to tell other humans. Now, I'm not saying Paul was doing mushrooms, although he might have, but if he did, I'm looking at a couple others in the Bible too. Ezekiel, John of Patmos, you know what I'm saying? If you've ever read Revelation and Ezekiel, those guys were on some serious ayahuasca, all right? Now, that said, let me share with you just like one quick story of an experience I had because it led into like the trajectory of my own healing. One night, I pastored this church that looks just like this. I mean, if we put you two together, I mean, very similar. And I started getting honest about my anxiety. And I had some just beautiful, like humans, a part of our spiritual collective come up to me and said, Pastor, you don't like need to be ashamed of your anxiety. We all have it. And then they said, have you ever tried like edibles? And here's what you need to know about me. I'm a pastor's kid. My dad he was a pastor. He's retired now. But I grew up Southern Baptist. So I come from I heard the moan. I'm in good company here. I come from a fundamentalist Christian. My undergrad's from Liberty University, Jerry Falwell's Liberty, not junior, seniors Liberty University, right? Like I come from that world. Yeah, you all should have been praying for me, all right? I hope you carry that weight and burden. So like I have never done drugs in my life. I was a spokesman for the DARE program. You remember DARE? Drug resistance education, something like in middle school and high school, like I was the kid. I mean, I am as pure as it gets. Like growing up, in a very austere Christian environment. Never done drugs in my life. So when they say you should try THC, like an edible, I was like, well, I've never done it, but I should try it. And the next day, there was a bag on my little doorstep. And I just walked out, and when you're desperate like I was like, we'll try them. No instructions, by the way. I grab the bag, I go inside, and I had enough sense, because anyone who has anxiety knows you don't just jump into things. You have to ease. Anxiety is all about control, so you have to ease into it. So I had enough sense to cut it in half. I cut it in half, I take the edible, it's like a little gummy, and I sit on the couch, and my wife knew enough about it that she's like, oh, I think it takes like an hour to like get in your system or something. And I wait an hour and like nothing. And I do the ultimate rookie move. I am like, well, first of all, I fell into my own melodrama. You know what I'm talking about? Where I'm sitting on the couch going, I knew it wouldn't help, because I am a unique case. And I am the only human on the planet that THC wouldn't actually affect. And so I go back to the fridge, I take the other half, and I sit there for probably 45 minutes, and I'm like, you know what? Nothing. It's just nothing. And so I walked upstairs. My wife went upstairs. We both went to bed. And at some point, and I don't know what time it was, middle of the night, I wake up. And I wake up, and the way my house is, our bed sits here, and there's a little chair in the corner of the room. I wake up, and I just kind of come to, and I start looking around the room, and I stop in the right corner of the room on a chair. Are you guys familiar with this movie, Monsters, Inc.? It's a Pixar film. There's a little character on Monsters, Inc. called Mike Wazowski. Mike Wazowski is a little green guy, one eye. You know what I'm talking about? Mike Wazowski was sitting in the chair in my bedroom, but he wasn't green, he was red, and he was sitting in the chair, and it was so clear. His legs were crossed, and he was swinging them because he obviously couldn't touch the floor, and he was just like swinging his legs, and he's just, one eye just kind of glancing at me. And when I initially saw it, I didn't go into panic. I just thought, well, I guess this is THC. What an interesting experience. I blinked my eyes, and within a blink, Mike Wazowski moves from the corner of the room directly in my face. I am eyeballs to eyeball, just like staring at me. And my body immediately goes into panic. And it did not stop. For like 4 hours, I had panic attack after panic attack after panic attack after panic attack. Now here's the thing. I look back at that and I laugh so hysterically hard now, because I'm like, what was Mike Wazowski doing in my unconscious? I'm still wondering. But I wake up the next morning. I did finally fall asleep. I wake up the next morning. I go downstairs. I grab the bag. I throw it away. My neighbor comes over and he's like, Katie texts me, dude, I'm so sorry. No one gave you instructions on this stuff. To which I want to pause right here and say, test your drugs, people, all right, before you take them. Second, have someone who knows something about it help you. He comes over and he's like, listen, dude, he's like, throw that bag away. I'm going to bring you the right stuff. You had the wrong strand. And he starts telling me about Indica and I don't know, some other brand. And he's like, you need the brand that calms you. They gave you the wrong brand. And I'm like, keep your drugs. I'll never do them again. Oh, and by the way, when you take those, say hello to Mike for me, all right? Now, that said, I go for a run the next day. I'm out running, and the symbolism all just comes crashing down on me. I realized that I took this THC to find some sense of calm and healing to move me away from my anxiety. It did the opposite. It threw me right into the heart of my worst fear, a panic attack that I couldn't get out of. Because the thing about THC and ayahuasca and all these medications, the thing about them is when you go into those meetings, you can't just leave when you want to. This isn't like alcohol. You drink alcohol, you're like, go downstairs, have a glass of water, you'll be fine. No. Mike Wazowski locked the door behind me. And Mike's like, you and I need to have a conversation, and we're not leaving here until that conversation is done. And it occurred to me that maybe Mike Wazowski was like the embodiment of how I understood anxiety. Because I've always been raised and conditioned and trained to believe anxiety was like this monster trying to kill you. And it's out to get you. And listen to the way our culture talks about anxiety. I mean, they have these words, attack. They give you war metaphors. Get in there and just eliminate your anxiety. I was raised in a fundamentalist church that told me fear was a very bad thing. That fear was like the enemy to faith. And what I have learned through the process is fear is not the enemy to faith. The reality is we need both in our lives. The truth is, faith is not the absence of anxiety. Faith is trust in the presence of anxiety. And both reside in the human experience. And what I observed about my Mike Wazowski experience is that maybe the cure to anxiety is actually inside the anxiety. And so maybe if I'm going to get underneath this, I need to go right into the heart of the very thing I've been trying to eliminate. And maybe Mike Wazowski is a good representation. Because if there's one thing I know about Mike, it's this: he's a good monster. I mean, you've watched this movie, right? Mike's the only one in the film like, hey, guys, I just want to be friends. And I'm still convinced anxiety is like, hey, I'm not here to kill you. I'm here to protect you. And by the way, applaud to anxiety because the human species is still present, which means it did its thing and it worked. I mean, from the very origins of human civilization to right now in Nashville, Tennessee in 2025, fear and anxiety has kept its role and kept the human species going. But at this point in my life, I begin to realize that if the cure to anxiety is in the heart of anxiety, then how do I go further in? What can I do? And that's when I decided to get to work. And I did. And I discovered a few things. One of which is I discovered what I call my internal universe. And when I say internal universe, you can use whatever words you want to use. Some have called that the soul, the psyche, the unconscious, the subconscious, spirit, heart, gut, mind. All I know is there is an internal world inside of all of us. And some of you in this room are very familiar with that internal world. And some of you, like me, have never ventured down there. Some of you might be all into going in, but some of you may often be like, God, I'm terrified of what might be in there. And I was introduced to this internal realm. And I decided it was time to get to work and try to explore what might be down there. And so I set up a few meetings. I reached out to everyone I could that could help me find a door to get inside. What I learned is you don't have to be in an altered state to visit your internal state. Now, I want to pause here and say for some people, we've been so conditioned to live in our head in the Western world that we don't even know we have something below the shoulders. That there is a place to live from in the body that isn't just up here. And so some people need like serious guidance to break out of the prison that is their minds and sink down into their bodies. But what I've learned is you don't have to be in that altered state to get there. There are many ways, many doors. I write in the book, I give you all kinds of doors along the way. Here's a way to get in. Here's another way to get in. And for me, one of the ways that I discovered was I got myself a hypnotherapist. Are you familiar with a hypnotherapist? Now, I didn't know anything about hypnotherapy when I first started going to her. I thought it was like stage hypnotherapy you're talking about, where they have the clock and then all of a sudden you fall into a trance. So I was already anxious. That's why I was going to her. But then the anxiety was heightened up because I'm like, you are not going to get me. Get behind me, Satan. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like, no, I'm not falling for this trance stuff. My evangelical upbringing taught me something about you people. You know what I mean? And I get in there and she's like, no, that's not actually what it is. And she said, actually, I'm just going to send you home with an audio script. I'm like, that's it? I'm paying you this much money and you're going to send me home? She's like, yeah, that's it. And so she sent me home with a little digital clip. It was about 25 minutes long. And she said, I just need you to find a relaxing space. And she said, and here, I need you to take one of these. And she handed me a sleeping mask. And she said, get in a safe room. And she said, for the next 30 days, I want you just to play this audio script. I was like, okay. So I started doing it. I had these little sleeping masks. I started putting them on. And then she invited me into one doorway It was an easy door. And here's the door: imagination. She said, I just want you to use your imagination. That's fair, because I come from like a rational world. You know what I'm talking about? Where I'm like, I mean, get out of here with this magical, mythical stuff. Like give me something rational. And she's like, here's rational. Do you know what imagination is? I'm like, yes, ma'am. She's like, use it. Come with me. I'm like, okay. So I slipped down my sleeping mask, which I now call my internal universe glasses, okay? By the way, I brought you all a pair. So at the end, I got a book back there. If you get the book, I need you to have a pair of these. It will change the game, all right? So I slip them on, I hit play on the audio script, and then she starts inviting me to meet me. Okay, now hang on. Because when I went inward, I found all kinds of stuff. I write about it in this book, but I'm telling you, I find so many layers of unprocessed grief, of things that, honestly, I didn't even know they were in me. I had some serious relational wounds that I had never dealt with. As you can imagine, having a father who is an evangelical and his son turn out the way his son just turned out, it has created some serious relational conflict. Anyone in the room familiar with relational conflict? Yeah, my dad and I went 8 years without speaking to each other. I would show up for family gatherings, walk in the room, and he would walk out and lock himself in his office because he couldn't bear to see me. Yeah. All of that was just like laying in me. Toxic theology, I can't begin to tell you when I got in how much I had to work out of me. And here's the thing, I love this space because you're raising up. I watched these kids in the back here, and my heart just melted because I'm like, oh my God, I don't know who runs your kids' ministry, but I just want to say to every volunteer who's ever helped with these kids, my God, people, thank you. Thank you. And I want to remind you of how important that is, because how much have we had to unlearn as adults that we were handed as kids? And what's beautiful about Grace Point is you've got kids now in the back, and they're going to have less therapy bills than all of us. And I know they're going to have some therapy, but we can at least eliminate some things that are just unnecessary, like, hey, kids, check it out. God loves you, but when you die, you'll spend eternity in conscious torment if you don't say the right words. What does a 9-year-old do with information like that? Yeah. I mean, I was terrified as a kid. The very religion that could have calmed my anxiety actually created most of my anxiety. I found so much insecurities within me. But what I found that surprised me the most was my inner child. I know some of you are probably familiar with this language, inner child work. Carl Jung actually is probably the one who mastered and coined the phrase. And I was shocked when I went in because that was not what I expected to see. But I went in and I discovered my little 9-year-old self who was terrified. My hypnotherapist, I'd play the audio, and she would say, use your imagination. I want you to leave your house. So I'd get dressed, leave my house. I'd drive in my car, and she guided me back to my childhood home. So I got in the car, in my imagination, I'm laying in bed, Katie's next to me, we're all trying to go to bed, she's just playing through the ears. I get in my car, and for 30 days in a row, I drove to my childhood home. It's in a little town called Webb, Alabama, which is right outside of Dothan, Alabama. You all know where that's at, right? Now, I drove over the railroad tracks, pulled into the house, pulled up to the driveway, looked, and my 9-year-old self was sitting face pressed against the glass door. Night 1. I go up to the door and I tap on it and I look at my 9-year-old self for the first time, and my 9-year-old self's looking at his 41-year-old self for the first time. And I don't know if you've ever had that experience, but it is a wild moment. We don't say anything, we just stare at each other, and he is terrified. Who is this stranger? And it's like he kind of knows me, but doesn't really know me because it's the first time we've met. And then over the course of 30 days, he eventually invites me in after he gets permission from his mom, who is my mom, because he is me and I am him. I walk in, he takes me back to our bedroom where our bunk beds were. And I sit down in the rocking chair that my mom used to have in the corner of the room, and we just stare at each other because he's terrified and he doesn't want to say anything. So I want to read to you just a portion of that experience, and we're winding this thing down. Here's what he says. Sitting in that imaginary bedroom, it occurred to me how unrealistic my expectations might be. Did I think I was going to bust in this kid's life and demand he answer me on the first meeting? If anyone knew how this boy operated, it was me. For I am him and he is me. In that moment, a thought struck me. My inner child did not need a new story. He did not need an explanation of anxiety. He did not need affirmation about the afterlife. What he needed was me. And what I needed was him. And what we needed was love. I could feel his anxious body radiating through me. My inner child was far more terrified than I realized. We were not going to talk our way toward love. We needed to feel our way toward love. And so we sat, staring at each other. No distractions, no words, silence. And that happened for 30 nights. Until one day, I met with my hypnotherapist and I said, I think it's time to blur the lines between the invisible, between the imagination and reality. And she said, what do you mean? I said, I'm going to drive back to my childhood home. And my wife said, oh, this sounds interesting. I'm going. Katie's here today, by the way. She's my tour manager. We're on a book tour. And she got in the car and we drove. I had no idea if the house still existed. I mean, it's been, I can't tell you how many years since I was a child. Had no idea who lived there, if it still was there. So like I did in my imagination, I drive over the railroad tracks. I pull into the driveway and I put it in park and I look up and I had a couple thoughts. First was, I swear to God, if there is a 9-year-old child looking out that glass door. The other thought was, God, how silly. How silly am I to think there would, like, what did I think was going, like there was going to be a kid? Like, I got out of the car, I walked up, I rang the doorbell, no one answered. I kind of felt sad because I thought something would happen. I started walking back to the car and a gentleman came around the corner and he said, can I help you? And I look at him and I say, hey, my name is Cody. This is my childhood home. I grew up here. And without a blink, he was like, oh, welcome back. His wife shows up. She says, well, you grew up here? We start like chatting about the neighbors and stuff. And she's like, oh, well, you have to come in. I do have to come in. By the way, only in Alabama would they just let a stranger who pulled up like, come on in. Come on. So I walk in. I don't know if any of you have ever been back to like your childhood home, but like all the emotions. And then they walk me back to my bedroom. And it's no longer a bedroom, it's a workout room. I find the exact spot where I just read, where I'm just staring at my kid and my kid's staring at me. And I just looked at the adults and I looked at my wife. I was like, hey, I just need like a minute or two. And I stood right where that spot was. And I put my hand on the spaces where I feel my anxiety the most. So if you're in tune with your body, there are usually specific places you can feel your anxiety. One of mine is right here, like upper abdomen. The other is esophagus, throat area. And so I just kind of did this. I stood in this place and it occurred to me that I was like holding my 9-year-old self. If you've ever seen a father hold their child, I kind of held my 9-year-old self and I just said these words, and here's the mantra that I want to leave with you. I've got you. I've got you. And in that bedroom, like I could feel that kid trembling because He had been through I didn't realize how much that 9-year-old had been through. I've got you. And then I sensed my 41-year-old self holding my 9-year-old self. But my 41-year-old self, this came out of nowhere, was being held by his 81-year-old self. So it's like 81-year-old self holding my 41-year-old self who's holding his 9-year-old self. And I sense my 81-year-old self going, hey, I've got you. And then it was like meta because we started going out and I sensed the divine, love, the universe, whatever language you want to give it, God, holding my 81-year-old self, who's holding his 41-year-old self, who's holding his 9-year-old self, all of which uttering the same phrase, I've got you. And so I come from Atlanta today just to leave you with that truth. If you are here and you found yourself paralyzed by panic disorder and anxiety at some point in your life, I want you to know love has you. I'd like to just close here by reading just a paragraph from the book and think about the moments in your life you thought were going to end you. Yet you are still here. Despite all the anxiety you have experienced, you keep getting out of bed in the mornings. And you keep walking into your day. With each step, you are showing anxiety its proper place. Life is hard enough when things are going well. Tag on debilitating moments of chronic anxiety and it can feel nearly impossible to survive. Yet, you have. You are resilient. You are courageous. You are stronger than perhaps you realize. Give yourself credit. It's not easy being human. It's not easy being you. It's not easy being here. Yet you have survived, prevailed, conquered, and on your best days you have even soared. You are trusting one step at a time. Grace Point, I've got you. You're good. You're good. Thank you.
Wow. That wrecked me. Cody, that was amazing. I have to get that book. Wasn't that incredible, y'all? I'm not sure how I'm going to sing this last song. Just to set this up, it's a new song that I've recently written. And I wish my 15, 16-year-old self could have heard that. This song, actually, let me just paint a picture. It's a song that I've written as a part of a musical that I'm creating with Brooke. Story of Our Lives, a quartet, and raised in church. And so the setting is me as a teenager sitting in church in a choir, maybe on a stage in a pew, something like that. And I'm daydreaming about what my life could look like if I was able to be truly who I am and wasn't crippled by fear, the fear that the church put on me. And so this song is called Man of My Dreams. I close my eyes and I see him standing there with a smile on his face. And I secretly wish I could be him, but I'm still so afraid. I imagine how he even gets there, past the loneliness, past all the lies, from that scared little boy who was told he should hide. Tell me, how does he learn to survive? When does he go? When does he try? When does he show who he is deep inside? When does he finally learn how to fly? When is he free? When does he run? When does he soar? When does he swing open every door? When will he not be afraid anymore? When will he be the man of his dreams? Well, it looks like he's living his best life. He's surrounded by people he loves. He's got dogs and a husband and no wife. He's got more than enough. He's unburdened by fear and resentment, all the hurt he forgot and forgave. He is happy, he's peaceful, he's brilliantly brave. So when does he go? When does he try? When does he show who he is deep inside? When does he finally learn how to fly? When is he free? When does he run? When does he soar? When does he swing open every door? When will he not be afraid anymore? When will he be the man of his dreams? Oh God, show me where to begin. God, show me how, show me when. When do I go? When do I try? When do I show who I am deep inside? When will I finally learn how to fly? Oh, when do I run? When do I soar? When will I swing open every door? When will I not be afraid anymore? When will I be the man of my dreams? Oh, the man of my dreams. The man of my dreams. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you. And thank you, Cody, for that. He's got books in the back. Y'all need to stop by and do that. Stick around for our Puck Luck. We love you. Grace Point, we'll see you next week. Have a good one. Thank you.